This is Pastor Greg Mayhorn. I'm glad you're joining me. Just some thoughts about faith in this series. One of my favorite subjects in the Bible. I've taught on this subject probably more than any other, and it's changed my life. The reason I teach this is not just to, be up with the trends or whatever. As a matter of fact, in some quarters, I guess it wouldn't be too trendy, but I teach it because it works. I teach it because it's changed my life. And I heard a man say one time, and I thought it was really good. He said, "You can't teach a drowning man to swim." You ever thought about that? I mean, if somebody's in the water, they can't touch bottom, they get full of fear, they are drowning. They're in the process that will end in death unless something happens to save them. That's not the time that you tell someone, "Now here is your first swimming lesson." No, what you do is you throw in a lifesaver. You throw in, you reach out a big stick to them. You do a rope. You do something to save them, or you jump in and you get them out of the water. You can't teach a drowning man to swim. He's too full of fear. He's too excited. That's not the time. And the reason I bring that up is because a lot of people wait until they're in a disaster. They're drowning, as it were, in their circumstances. And they want then to learn how to swim or to use their faith. And that's so difficult. I'm not saying that if you're in a terrible situation that faith can't get you out of it. I'm not saying that at all, but I'm saying it is very difficult. If you wait and you neglect the Word, you neglect church, you neglect spiritual things, you don't build your spirit, you don't feed your spirit, trouble's going to come. And I tell you, it's going to come to everybody. It's going to come to people who are strong in faith. It's going to come to people who are weak in faith. It's going to come to people who are committed to God. It's going to come to people who are not committed to God. The difference of whether or not you walk in victory over those things is how much of God's Word is in your life and how yielded you are to the will of God for your life. So you don't want to wait till you're in trouble to build your faith. You want to do it now. You want to do it when the skies are blue, the sun is shining, the temperature's perfect, everybody loves you, and you got money in the bank, and you feel good, and that's when you work on your faith. So that when the time comes and the clouds cover the sky and somebody's mad at you and your body's doing that strange thing, you don't know what's going on at that moment, and the devil's telling you the worst, how he does, then whatever you've been putting in you starts coming out. And that's the key to victory.